Hi, friends. I'm Elizabeth. If we have not met, I am so glad to meet you. Thank you for joining us in this sacred virtual YouTube space. I am a meditation teacher, astrologer, tarot guide, and artist, and I work specifically with artists, creatives, and entrepreneurs to help people get their projects out of their hearts and into the real world. And so, if that's you, you're exactly in the right place. If you are just feeling struggling or lost or confused or unsure what the next steps are or how to really build a practice of putting things out into the 3D, then you're in the right place. And I'm so glad to have you here. I wanted to try something new today. In the past, I have done these like astrology overview videos, and I was going to record one today, and for whatever reason, it just was not feeling resonant. I just could not get it up to do this recording. And in true Gemini season fashion, I decided, okay, let's experiment with something new. And here we are, gonna go live, gonna talk a little bit about these Gemini season themes that I've been feeling into and how you might be able to use them and apply them in your own life. And I have my tarot decks here, so we'll do a little collective tarot pull. We might even have time for a ritual and Q&A at the end. So if you're watching this, even on the recording and you're watching this, leave a comment if you have a question or if something comes up. But until then, if you want to get yourself a cozy little bed, get your journal, get a writing something or other, and join me back here for some Gemini season downloads. The first thing I would like to do is just drop us into a collective energetic space. And so if you want to take a second, if you feel comfortable to close your eyes, I would invite you to do so. We are connecting here, our energies and our intentions, and we are allowing our full selves to come into this present moment. There is nothing that needs to be done away with just yet. We bring it all here now to observe. And from that place of observation, we are then able to make decisions or tap into feelings or decide to go another way. But for just this moment, for just these next few minutes, we are inviting our full selves into this space. This is a safe and holy space for sacred transformation. Any energies or entities that are not here in support of our collective highest good must go, or be transformed by love. I offer up a prayer of gratitude to everyone joining on the live stream, to everyone joining on the recording, to my benevolent queer and brown ancestors for making so many sacrifices so that I might live a life of self-determination. I want to send one final prayer to anyone in this space who is hurting, suffering, feeling like they are living a life that is out of their control. I am sending peace, and I am sending love. And I hope that if you are that person feeling out of control and ungrounded, that you can open your heart to receive it now. And so let's take one inhale in through the nose and out through the mouth together to close this meditation. You can shake it out and open your eyes, come back into this space. And the prompting that has been really juicy and alive and on my heart the past couple of days is this question: do you love yourself enough to try? Do you love yourself enough to try? And it has been really just like percolating in my inner world, because I think part of being in Gemini season is we are in an air season. And so there's a lot of mental chatter that happens. The air signs are associated with the mind, are associated with quick thinking and making connections. And Gemini season is a really beautiful time to activate our brain power in a lot of ways, to turn on our discernment and the inner sort of like curious scientist that exists within us, to start to do some analysis and critical thinking around maybe how our lives are shaped and formed. And there is this counter expression of Gemini energy that is this tendency to overthink, to over prioritize what it is our logical mind is insisting or repeating or circling in our heads over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I find that when I'm in that place, or when the babes that I'm working with are in this place of overthinking, what tends to happen is there's a lot of judgment. There's a lot of criticism that arises. There's a lot of this like should mentality that crops up. You might start to recognize all of the things that you are not doing. And rather than taking that as a signal, as an opportunity to shift and take some action and to like honor the desires on your heart, you and myself allow that mental chatter to break you down, to berate you, to dampen your spirit, and that negative flavor can quiet our capacity for action and change. And when that happens, we start to feel stuck physically. It's like all of a sudden we are in quicksand, and we can see the environment around us, and we know that if only we could just like grasp on to the vines, if only we could just like, I don't know, get a shovel. I don't know how quicksand works. And sort of dig ourselves out of this, that we would be okay. But there is so much happening up here that is compressing our capacity for action. The worry of whether or not the choice is going to be the like quote unquote right choice prevents us from doing anything at all. And there's no judgment here if that is a place that you find yourself. There's no need to be critical of the version of you who allowed that experience to get you to a place of feeling stuck. The medicine, the way to resolve some of this stuckness is to deprioritize what is happening in the mind and come back into the heart space. Come back into this like radiant center where your power and your passion and your inspiration all live, and to cultivate love for yourself so that you can remember, not even remember, so you can use that love almost as the fuel to put gas back in the car and start moving again so that you don't feel stuck. Do you love yourself enough to try? And some of you might be thinking, actually, I don't love myself enough to try. Actually, I effing hate myself. Actually, I am a string of negative thoughts and harsh language. And if that's you, just know that I've been there. I lived 28 years of my life there. And it wasn't until I started to simply accept myself, ACCEPT, accept myself, flaws and all, that I was able to access maybe not even love, but just like allowance. Just like, okay, it is what it is. And so if you are like, my heart is hardened, I'm feeling numb, I'm feeling concrete, I'm feeling turned off in the heart space, then just know that even the recognition, even the observation of the self and where you are in this moment is progress. Because you could have chosen to not watch this video. You could have chosen to turn it off 2 minutes ago when I started talking about love. You could have chosen to deny what it is that is your lived experience. And yet, being truthful and observing yourself from a place of non-judgment is a step towards being able to love yourself. And so I just want to sit with that for a second. And if you are on the opposite end of the spectrum and you're like, I love myself, it's overflowing, then amazing. I want you to cultivate, to actively bring some of this love up and into your heart and help me to send it to the people who are feeling numb and closed off. And what I will say is that my practice with breathwork is the thing that helped me to crack open my own heart space, to start to like chisel away at the concrete that had calcified, solidified over my sweet baby tender heart because of the way that I grew up and was raised. And there are many, many, many tools that you can work with to do some of this unblocking. So breathwork is certainly not the only way, but it is the thing that worked for me. And This is not a sales pitch. It's literally just an invitation. If you would like to see if it's a tool that works for you, I have in-person breathwork sessions. I have breathwork workshops. I have online resources. Like, please reach out because, I know what it is to be numb and blocked off. And when you are in that space, it is like impossible to access your creativity and your self-expression on a regular, consistent basis. And my dreams in life are to have everybody accessing their creativity and their self-expression and their dreams and gifts and the vision that they have for the world. And so, yeah, I'm here to help with some tools for experimenting, cracking open that space. Do you love yourself enough to try? I want to pull a tarot card now. And if you are not familiar with tarot, it's in my practice. And it's a series, the deck. This is the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which is like one of the OG for this specific style of tarot card. And essentially what it is in my practice is a set of archetypes, set of visual archetypes. Ooh, the star. This is a beautiful tarot card, actually. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about this. A set of visual archetypes to prompt conversation, to prompt self-reflection, to begin to hear the things that I'm going to say and turn on your own intuitive guidance system to help to distinguish the things that I am saying that are applicable to you and the things that I am saying that are applicable to someone else, because this is a collective reading. And even in one-to-one readings, sometimes it's the things that are the most resonant are going to jump out a little bit in some way. And so as I begin to describe, I'll start with the star because we just landed here and I love it. And it is literally a card about knowing that, like, you're a star. It's a beautiful depiction of this individual who, like, has this point of inspiration and allows themselves to be guided by it. And there is a balance that is present between the water that they are pouring into and the land that they are also, like, pouring into. And so it is a reminder that it is a balance between the emotional and the tangible, and that the whole point of engaging with your own sort of like star power is to feel into your heart. That is somewhat what the water represents, to feel into your feelings, to identify the things that are like important in some ways. And from there to go out and to build something, put something out into the world. I'm on repeat, but that's just what the star is. So that there is like pieces of you that exist beyond yourself. And, you know, I didn't ask a question. I didn't prompt the cards with anything. And so it's interesting that this is just where we like landed right now, as with the star, because it is this idea of, do you love yourself enough to try? And so perhaps you allow this star card to serve as a point of inspiration for yourself. And I love that actually it matches my shirt. We're like very, I am the star in my world, baby, and you are the star in yours. And I'm gonna prompt the cards now, and I'm just gonna shuffle and drop into my heart space and say, okay, so for the individuals who have stuck around this far in the call, we had a little dropout. So I'll just say, what information do they need to know? Okay. And here we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups. And cups are a suit of emotion. This is like when I was talking about the water over here. Water cups are representative of our feelings and our emotions. And so what this card often signifies, the three, is a very like communal card, a card of sharing, a card of being in intimate, safe spaces where you can express and be witnessed and identify, articulate what it is that is happening in your heart. And this is also a very like Gemini coded card, because Gemini is represented by the twins. That's what the symbol is astrologically, is a set of twins. And part of what Gemini's mission is in some ways, or medicine, is to remind us that we are not just here to like move through the world and have this individualized experience and keep it all to ourselves, that so much of the magic of life comes when you find a safe other that you can share and reflect and see your story mirrored back to you. And so this card is, I believe, an invitation for you to seek out community, for you to seek out. It doesn't have to be like a big party. It can be like your besties, your maybe even new people. This card, because Gemini is also associated with experimentation and we're talking about trying here, trying new things. Maybe there is a small group of artists, creatives, I don't know, people in your specific, who practice your specific medium, who would be like the perfect person for you to talk to about your struggles, about your process, about your inspiration, and to connect with them in such a way that there is an emptying out of those emotions that are getting in the way of your practice, and a filling up of the love and the possibility and maybe even some like very literal support. It's hard to do this backwards. Some very literal, tangible support. They might have the solution to the problem that you're looking for. I have been applying for grant funding for the past couple of months for my business, and just connecting with this one person in this one place, taking a risk and being honest about what it is that I was experiencing in my business, they were able to connect me to this other person. And it's like, then all of a sudden things are just kind of working out. And that is so much how the creative practice and living a creative life goes, is that you just remember who you are, and what it is that you are here to do. And then you find community to share, to give as well. It's not just, it's a circular, right? The more that I give, the more that I receive. The more that I receive, the more that I give. You are also a resource for the people in your community. And in doing so, you continue to help each other stay fueled up to do the things that are intimidating, are challenging, are just a little bit outside your comfort zone. Because no, I was going to say, no change comes from staying the same. And I guess that's true. If you want to direct your change, you have to be the one to initiate it. And so it is important to stay fueled up and to stay inspired and to keep your vision in mind. Gemini season is also about getting the words out. And so a ritual that I would suggest is, sounds cliche, but this is a great time to journal. This is a great time to like just voice note, blah, 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 all of the things that are coming up for you. What I would say specifically is, because Geminis are such great analysts, are such great scientists, are such great I want to say black and white thinkers, but I'm still kind of working that out. I'm not sure. This is like a new thought for me. And so I'm like, is that right? Potentially black and white thinkers. And one practice that you can work on is to take a piece of paper, to take a line down the middle, to write where I am now and where I want to be, how I am now and how I want to be. And again, use your brain power to do some discerning around where things need to change. Don't let it be in the spirit of being critical. Intentionally decide that this is going to be a motivating experiment, thought exercise. And remember that you have the capacity, find the community, and maybe in this community, there's a little bit of accountability. There's a little bit of sharing how it is that you want to be, and then identifying some tangible action steps to, again, just experiment with, to just try. And maybe you limit your experiment time frame to just Gemini season, but do this analysis, create these action steps, establish a timeline, and then just go and be kind to yourself as you move through the process. The goal is never perfection, because perfection is not possible in one lifetime. The goal is taking baby steps to get ourselves just a little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer to the version of the life that is alive in our hearts. Okay. We're going to wrap it up there. But if you have been intrigued, if you have questions, if you are annoyed or angry, or you don't understand what I'm talking about, great. Leave it in the chat. Let's have a dialogue, because my intention behind these lives are really to be of service. And so if it's not landing, I want to know. And if it is landing, I want to know. And if it's some stuff is landing and some stuff you would like some clarification on, I want to know. So help me help you. Okay. Thank you for experimenting with me. I love you.